Welcome back to Workers and Resources. I'm taking a break. I'm gonna stream again today because I don't know if I can do Workers and Resources tomorrow. We will see. Even on Monday I have I have a appointment, I guess. So, but Monday should be better than tomorrow. We will see. We're back in our republic, trying to build the train tracks towards the city center to actually get started with our city. Everything else so far has been trying to make this republic resilient against money loss, and we haven't been successful so far. So that's the thing. But we'll see. Hello Jumai, welcome. We do have some income now. I might have to reduce the amount of foreign workers being brought in. Maybe that's too many. Maybe I need to limit a bit of foreign worker getting, I guess. Hello Angry Shrimp, welcome. Saturday evening workers, yes. Because I don't think tomorrow is going to be a day. It could still be tomorrow, like, I don't know. But I really like the opening of the MegaCity 19 run. I did not expect... I didn't think about like having to get the workers to the city center. I was like, yeah, resources is fine. But bringing the workers here is like... it's so difficult. We'll just have to open the floodgates whenever the resources have been delivered here. And then see if we can build all of this up and start rail construction off of this. I guess. And the other option was to get just a larger rail construction vehicle, which I think I'm gonna like probably do. It's gonna be very expensive, but I believe it would be better than these shenanigans here. We can get the workers slowly delivered to this area. You know, I think yeah. I still think the train stations need to happen, but like the rail construction office might not happen anymore. I'm gonna put that on paused. The train lines are fine, but the rail construction offices we'll see. And since all the resources have been delivered for the fire station and the train platform, I guess what we could do is bring some workers to it, or prepare to have some workers brought to it, with the means of the bus stops. At this time for the carriages. So we would drop like horse carriages here. They would drop the workers into these bus stops, unload them all, reload them all, and that hopefully would be enough. They would also need fuel on the way, of course. That will have to be supplied first. Maybe over here. That might not be a bad thing. At the end. And then one more fuel station at the destination, so the fire trucks, once they start existing, can also get some fuel. Although the double fuel station here, I guess. Okay, looks better this month, but it's still not like if we still have money deficits in certain months, then it's not a clear-cut situation yet. I'll use a dedicated distribution office to bring fuel to the other stops, so we don't interrupt whatever is ongoing in this area. Like I said, we can use 2 of the covered hull trucks in the construction offices. Because we don't need 4, 2 should be enough. We'll grab resources and deliver them to the gas stations, and hopefully they'll do their thing correctly. The gas stations might be under heavy load from the construction vehicles traveling back and forth, supplying construction materials, but we'll see. And we'll have to follow a bus route, a horse carriage route, to see if it can actually make it all the way over there during non-winter times, so we have to time our construction work whenever there isn't winter ongoing. And yeah, we only need the fire station and the train station basically if we plan on building the train tracks up to there. I kind of want to not get the long rail construction vehicle, but yeah, I don't know. It would probably be fine without. Just very slow, I guess. Very slow. We can dump more workers onto the rail construction task in total, but then we would waste a lot more money too. And I kind of want to be a bit more careful about that. Probably like even one less worker in the train repair. I'll leave the horse carriages on like 2 for now. That's fine. With the horse carriages helping with the incinerator, I think that's going to be really good, because then while the train is unloading, we're already transporting mixed waste away, and the train itself doesn't have to wait too long to carry all the mixed waste away itself, importing more hazardous waste in the process. I might get another wagon or 2, making the train longer. Yeah, there's a short downtime here when the road is blocked, not very long. No problem for the fire safety of the area. Why is it oh, we don't have enough work. No, we do have a full... Okay, now it's incinerating fully. I was wondering why we were able to unload into the incinerator, but I guess we just didn't have enough workers. But yeah, I guess we can save on some workers here. We don't need more than 3, I guess. We'll just lower the amount of foreign workers even more. Yep, I guess this way the train will have to stay parked for less time to load the mixed waste back. It feels like it's slower than in our other map, but I think it's still the same. Made 5,600 rubles already. Positive import. It is still very profitable. Let's get the fire station and the train station platform up, see if we can make this work. If we do start with the rail construction, we could also build in the other direction to get this linked up faster. But then we're basically like taking time away from this rail construction office, while we could be building up to the next platform already. Construction sector, temporary 1. Like your pioneer camp to get the rail construction and some rubles rolling. Might have to copy that for a fresh start. Yeah. It's basically a money positive camp that also does the rail construction. No domestic workers, so it doesn't break the rules. Only one city means workers only in the center of the map. makes a decent amount of money, but it is still limited in its throughput. But it gives you more flexibility if you're doing like something crazy, like trying to only build stuff in the center of the map, which is it's difficult. I think I'm gonna get 3 more train cars. But then, yeah, then we will have to work this in tandem completely, because the train itself... I mean, if I get 3 more train cars and I designate 1 of them or 2 of them for mixed waste, then the train can probably handle that. The train length here, maximum is 105 meters currently. Not really an issue. Let's do that real quick. Oh, too early. Alright. We'll get 3 more waste train cars by enabling all vehicles available, purchasing them based on start production date, the oldest ones. It was the Essen OM waste in green. And then re-enabling vehicle availability limits. Let's save this route. Waste western border, because makes sense. And then you will go here and pick up whatever's at the border and bring it to the depot. We'll probably designate 1 of the wagons to hold mixed waste, or maybe even 2. Not these ones. Did I buy it in the correct customs house? Yes. So maybe these 2 will hold mixed waste. Then the train can load mixed waste while unloading the hazardous waste. Basically, to reduce the time that the train has to stand inside the unloading station, I would like to already load some mixed waste if possible. And also give it a little bit more capacity, I guess. And right now train cars are fairly cheap. Alright. So the first train cars have no limit. This one, however, is only mixed waste. So the other ones can load mixed waste once they're empty. These ones can only load mixed waste. Custom line. That one. That should work. It should also load a little bit faster because it now has more train cars to load into. Because the whole station length can basically be loaded, I think. I guess not. Oh no, yeah, it can. Oops. Load hazardous waste. Why are you loading mixed waste? Huh. That's weird. That shouldn't happen. I don't want to incinerate mixed waste. We're not making that much money with that. The mixed waste is basically the same as the hazardous waste, except it doesn't have any hazardous waste in it, so you're not making as much money. So we could have another 3 train cars, basically. It will only be able to unload the train cars inside the station. Yeah, it's not really unloading the mixed waste here. We're not really supposed to import that. Then I guess it doesn't work. We did have the same issue for waiting until unloaded for coal in our Poland run, which was kind of weird. Unload anything. If you have mixed waste, also wait until unloaded for that one. Unloads a lot faster now. Now we're using the whole train station as a load unload speed. So ideally, 1, 2, 3, 4 train cars. We would have another 2 train cars, and then we would have twice the loading length optimized. So maybe we get 2 more train cars, but then yeah. It would be a lot. I have to recolor the rear train cars green, I guess. I mean, the issue is still that we might run full on mixed waste this way. That's not what's supposed to happen. We have to unload the mixed waste first before starting to load mixed waste. Oh, apparently we've moved over to loading mixed waste now. And this is not working the way it should. It's a little bit funky, I guess. Very strange. We have so much resource capacity in those wagons now. I think we're gonna get the money under control. It should not be a huge issue, I don't think. Four train cars would probably be ideal. 8 train cars might run this building full, and then we might need an intermediate storage to act as a buffer. Like a small container storage, for example, could do that. Not sure if it could be fit here, probably, but the road connection would be questionable. Alright. So 2 more train cars then, I guess, with the waste wagons also running. Sure. We're not loading... Like, the other train cars are gonna be whatever. They can load hazardous waste again, because apparently we can't limit the waste being loaded into the train cars. Let me get the other cargo wagons real quick. That was an Essen. Also have to recolor these ones, but we can do that once the train has picked up the other train cars, I guess. So yeah, no workers and resources tomorrow, probably. I got like a very inconvenient scheduling conflict. So The streams should still go ahead like around the normal times, like this time and the like original one, but there's like a schedule in the middle of that. And the same thing is happening on Monday too, but that one is less long, so hopefully not as much of an issue. When do you plan to bring on the first residents? Once we have an actual city in the center of the map. This is all still building up towards to get to the center. This is gonna take a while. Let's recolor these. Alright. The citizens have to be in the center of, like in MegaCity 1. MegaCity 1 will start in the center of the map. That is the limit that I don't want to break. Everything else is like in flux, basically. Like larger rail construction vehicle, we could argue if it takes too long. I'm still gonna try and make it work without, basically, but it might at some point be like, it just takes too long. And we're just gonna ignore it. But yeah, let's try it this way first. Let's try and build these up. I wonder if they've already been running and wasting workers all this time, because they're not making it here fast enough. I don't think so, but we'll see. They definitely should stop working during winter. I think they're not making it. I think with the extra workers they're too heavy. It can only be one, exactly. Wait, wrong direction. This way. Hello, Mega Monkey. No auto search. Are you going to make it? We're doing the Wild West of construction offices now. Workers on black horses, running as fast as possible to a construction site. It's the only way that they can make it, hopefully. Speedy speed horse, exactly. If this doesn't work, I might set up some extra bus stops. I don't want to use the large chain of like footpaths with bus stops. It's just too tedious to set up. We're then gonna do like horse carriage route and pick them up from the border and bring them to the train station, to the construction site that way. This should be possible. I guess we're gonna switch to these horses. Apparently they are fine. I guess maybe let me try the horse carriages with like max speed setting. Once they're out of food, I guess they don't care anymore. Heading to a repair station. Come on, you can do it. You're definitely fast enough. I mean, if you bring like 4 workers like that to the construction site, I guess that's fine enough for me. But yeah, the horse carriages are too slow that way. Gonna unassign the worker platform. I'm gonna get 4 more horses in here. And then assign this to build here. And get rid of all of these bus stops, I guess. Oh god, horse emotes, let's go. Mega Monkey, something crazy happened. I got to 96 viewers with no raid. I feel a little bit shocked about that. Apparently a lot of people were waiting for MegaCity 19. It was kinda thrilling, but also a little bit frightening. Last month vehicle import, this month vehicle import, but yeah, I think the increased import is probably going to make it work. I'll just have to get to the center of the map. Really wish I could flatten this area out first, but this is a narrow gauge railway. We'll build something proper from MegaCity 1 at some point. Probably from the center to the eastern border. And then we can rework the western connection and just do it that way. Because we can hook this up properly. This is also... oh, this is nice and flat. Up until this point, slightly downwards. We'll probably go this way. Some bridges here. Once we can start bringing foreign workers to this train platform, then we can use the construction offices at the train platform to ride them to the next stop, basically. Excellent. How much time left? 4 hours. That's a good buffer. That might even work in winter. Yeah, that looks relatively safe. Normally this would be a village, but like I said, we have our MegaCity 1 rules. Gotta follow the rules. Low Tech and MegaCity 1 are like the rules, I guess. Everything else, we'll see. I don't want to get too modern vehicles, because that would make the start a little bit too weird, I guess. Getting like a massive rail construction vehicle. I don't know what they used before the 1900s, I guess. I guess they used a lot of people next to the train tracks. Could we research anything that would help us right now? I think distribution offices could be a good research to already do. And it is done with the party HQ, which then also opens up secret police and other similar research. We could do that with foreign workers to already be prepared. Get distribution offices. Other options include the technical university and get the steel mill, so we can plan the city with a steel mill in mind. I don't know if I want to plan the megacity with a lot of routes. Megacity 19, no distribution offices run. Some people would like that. Oh, you're unloading a lot more wagons than I thought you would. You're unloading 6 wagons at the same time. So 6 wagons would have been ideal then, I guess. Are you going to rewind time to 1880 until you have 1 citizen? No. The time rewind will not happen. The voting was for the start date, and now we're just continuously progressing forward as time goes on. There's no time skip backwards. Yeah, I kind of put myself in a position where this is only 1 train. Because I can't get the train track around this to leave. I blocked this side, only 1 train. Okay, now we're loading while we're waiting until unloaded for hazardous waste, I hope. No, it's not unloading the hazardous waste anymore. Okay, I guess I will have to detach the other 2 train cars. It's behaving really weird with the waste wagons. It's not waiting until loaded or waiting until unloaded anymore. Very strange. Need separate load and unload orders. Well, I wanted it to start loading the waste already. I mean, the wait until unloaded should always wait until fully unloaded. But yeah, maybe. This is a bug that's been around for ages, and I suspect it's part of why RDLs suck at moving waste around. I did have it happen recently, where I also brought coal in with the same train and told it to wait until unloaded for unloading hazardous waste, but it was empty of hazardous waste, but it didn't then continue. Because it still had coal loaded inside, and it was waiting for coal too. Which is kind of weird. Hello Zadius. Welcome. Go! Full speed. You're too slow. Oh, you've ran out of stamina. I don't know how, you're going that slowly. But I guess you did. They're not going to make it. So it only works like once. And then they're like out of stamina basically. That's not good. So that means this also doesn't really work. Does it work if we don't have the checkbox enabled? Do they get there in time? If it's not winter, can we make the construction happen that way? It resorts the construction offices whenever I open this menu. It's like a gamble. Do I have the right one selected this time or not? Nope. Nope. It's resorting them. Okay, nope, nope, nope. These ones are all now set to not have max speed. These ones are too. Okay. I wonder if the max speed automatically unchecks itself if they're running max speed for too long. That creepy emote, man. Sheesh. Let's see if they can make it. I think I have to get rid of 2 train cars. It's getting a little bit too long. The waste train cars are probably still like okay. I don't think we need the waste separation in the city. We could load metal scrap on it, I guess. If we dump the metal scrap into container storages and then load it, then we wouldn't need aggregate loading. We could just put it into waste train cars. Would be a lot more convenient. Yeah, we can't have these these horse carriages here. Otherwise, when the building undergoes maintenance, they would stop functioning. I would need a distribution office for this, I guess. Also, the wagon is a little bit too long. The train, I mean, for the building. I think 6 train cars is the maximum. We'll empty out all the wagons, get the vehicle back into the depot, detach 2 train cars, send it back out on the road. What are the construction officers doing? I mean, the horses have had their stamina recover. Still got 5 hours, and you're making it. Good. So we're gonna run them without the max speed checkbox. They can make this work without. And once we have like a supply of foreign workers in this area, we can keep going. Good. That means we build up the rail construction office, and as soon as this rail construction office has arrived over there, we move it into the new building with hopefully a decent supply of resources already present, and then it can start building from that area. So maybe I should put them like closer together. I don't know. This is quite far still. Oh, I have to see if I can get the horse carriage route going. Let's get a... Should we try... What's the maximum we can have on these? 2... 4... 8 kilowatts... 0 tons, 0 tons... I mean, we could build a vehicle depot, like a vehicle storage plus a horse pasture, and equip some of them with the black horses, I guess. Get one horse carriage and see if it works. Alright. Before you load hazardous waste, you're gonna have to go into the station and load the mixed waste though. Yeah, 126 tons of hazardous waste. I'm not going to incinerate down to 39 tons of mixed waste. That is not going to be a thing. But 39 tons of mixed waste plus another 55 tons of hazardous waste. Can we incinerate 70 tons down to 39 tons? Half of it? Maybe. I would like to try it. I'm gonna put these back into storage and see if it works or not. On the next trip. If this grid locks, and if yes, by how much. If it's only like a couple tons, then we will only assign a single horse carriage to this route to not block this when it needs maintenance. If it's too much, then maybe I'm gonna get rid of another train car. I would like for it to be self-sufficient and not rely too much on horse carriages, I guess. The loading speed is now also much better with the extra train cars, I guess. I mean, we can prepare for the passenger trains. They pick up workers, bring them here, go to the coaling end station, I guess, whenever they want. Perfect music? Yeah, Carl Casey's on the case. Oh, we built the coaling station next to the track. I was thinking of having the coaling station here basically after the first stop once we have enough workers in the area so it can refuel in this location. But I still need one next to our Pioneers outpost, I guess. Should we? No, we don't build this for very long trains. It's gonna be a single train track into a single two stations here. Long trains will have their own coaling station at the destination of their factories or industries, not here. I think this makes more sense. Hello Yamnuska, welcome. And if a train from the depot needs to do coaling, it better not be longer than 450 meters, or like 150 meters I guess. Or we just need to build that like loop. So a long train has to go through the loop and then come back. Haven't built one of these in ages. That could be a way to solve it. If this is 450 meters long, that is. But don't think it is. Nope. It is not. So I guess this loop would then continue straight on past this section and then it would be fine. Train leaves, goes through here, comes back. It's 450 meters long, it's going to block both lines basically. There's already a short train here, it's fine. I'm probably going to get rid of this thing. Otherwise, what happens if a 450 meter long train leaves this way? Why am I planning for 450 meter long trains? It doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense, never mind. But I'd have a long train depot here. They need to start from this area, so they need to coal in this area. You know what? No, it makes sense, it's fine. It's at the border, it makes sense. This should be easily enough distance. It's barely enough distance. 450 meters. Jeez. So we have a stop plan for really long trains, I guess. Alright, that should be enough. That way we can refuel long trains. Other trains can also go in here. There's 2 stations for refueling, which I hope is going to be enough. The trains are... The first stop can't be the customs house for the long trains, because otherwise the tail end's going to stick out this way, so they will have to go into the Republic first and then find their destination elsewhere. But we have the means to assemble long trains once this section has been built. And we can also refuel passenger trains in the area, because they can just come in here, coal up, and continue on. These horses are not happy. They run out of stamina very quickly. Aren't you supposed to, like, feed right now? What's going on? Maybe it's not the max speed problem, maybe they're running out of food and then they're, like, very slow. I did put food on their way. Huh. Weird. Why are they not using that? Okay, they're going in 30 here. They recovered some stamina, but why are they running without food? This shouldn't happen, should it? Can you add refueling as a stop? You can send them to a gas station, but it doesn't force refuel them. An end station would do it. I could do that. But these are construction offices, so I can't do any line at all. Hello, Talon Grandmaster. Welcome. I'm not sure why they're not refueling. Or feeding, I guess. It looks like there's just enough space in here to fill it up completely. We have 35 tons still, and we're below 20 tons inside the hazardous waste storage. We might have just enough room for the train length to completely unload in here before starting to load the mixed waste. A little bit excessive and dangerous, I guess. But I guess we don't need any horse wagons. Enjoy your hill climb, Mega Monkey. Enjoy your trekking, I guess. Or you're driving a car. Is that still a hill climb? Sounds like driving. Have a good day. make some videos. I think money-wise we're okay-ish now. I think the train is now in a stable situation. The train cars, we have 6 of them. They're loading and unloading the fastest. The waste seems to be just enough to squeeze all the way into the incinerator. While we're loading the mixed waste, the incinerator will continue burning the hazardous waste, and yeah, we should be able to empty it out, I hope. Only problem would be if... I guess if the incinerator stops burning and leaves hazardous waste in here. I need to keep 1 horse carriage, I guess. 1 horse carriage will have to keep running. Got the cam, excellent. I want footage like from the moon. That style of video, please. Couldn't you have them unload 50% load mixed waste and add the station again to unload rest? Unload 50% load mixed waste? No, they are all loaded into the same train car. If they unload 50%, then all the train cars at the same time are 50% full. We can't tell them to unload only these 2 train cars without editing the settings of the train cars. And that did some weird behavior, where it ignored all of that and started loading like weird waste from the border too. They have not made it here with a worker. But at least they're getting fuel now, I guess. And some time to calm down their stamina. Not sure why they didn't do that next to the border though. That was very weird. Very strange. Yeah, we'll build this up. Supply once we have workers here. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it with a horse carriage route. I guess we can set up another free bus stop here. Yeah, we'll do that. I would like to get the rail construction office going as soon as possible. We'll do another bus stop and just run multiple horse carriage routes, I guess. That's the wrong bus stop. I want a free one, not a build one. Yeah, this whole junction at some point will have to be flipped over to this side anyway. Except for a single line, like I said. This line will probably be reserved for the hazardous waste train at that point. And 2 tracks for whatever goes to the city. Ideally, we won't have to export any mixed or hazardous waste, and can handle that locally. Not you. No. Well, no, that horse feeder is fine. Yeah, you can deal with that one. You, however, have to deal with this one now. And you'll be running a horse carriage route through this stop, transfer unloading, and then finally unloading here. After going back to the end station. I think that should be doable. We basically cut the distance in half. If not, I'll have to like split it up into 2 stops, which I hope I don't have to do. It's gonna be a test run. There's also resource wagons on that route, slowing things down, but I hope that reduces the stamina consumption of the horses. It might not do that. Anything doing a right-hand turn will go into the other lane. Wonder why they're slowing down so much though. Maybe I should have that turn off here instead. That seems faster. Three hours. It's very far. Are you gonna make it? Probably not. We're gonna have to split this up into multiple stops then. You're a third of the way through your time, and I guess you're halfway there. Maybe you'll be fine. We'll see. You're definitely slowing down the other construction vehicles though. I should be able to overtake you. Six hours. It seems like it's doable. Maybe not during winter, but that's okay. Yeah, if the horse carriage drives like that, then that would be a little bit too fast, I think. 2.05 tons. Does the passenger weight play a role too? Because, wait. Can we technically carry a single passenger with 4 horses? 0.65 tons. So that does add the passenger weight to this, I think. So if we have like one of the large horse carriages where you can have 4 horses in front of it, and you only load a single worker, you would technically have 4 horses carrying a single worker. You are making it here with 1.5 hours to go. Excellent. And you're using the wrong fuel station apparently. Oh my god, you're using the wrong fuel station. This one doesn't have any fuel. Well, that sucks. We need a tuning workshop for the wagons, some chrome rims and neon tubes. I don't know if that makes them faster. I don't think it does, but I don't know. Okay, I think this is a bit more stable. Still limited, but money positive with no loans is a good sign. I don't think the individual horses will get here in time though. Nope. So these construction offices are on hold now. This doesn't work. We're gonna try it with direct routes. Yeah, the horse carriages here are also super slow. Because I guess they're constantly running, trying to like bring horse feed everywhere. And the other ones are not really recovering because they have no horse feed. We just need to plaster the whole street with like feeding stations. I think the feeding station at the end of the bus stop is a good one, because if they're already at the bus stop, they should see that that one has enough food. But yeah, I guess you're not gonna make that trip anymore. It's 5 hours. Maybe I need to give these horses the route, not you. Maybe the fast horses need to run the route. We'll try that. With the intermediate stop at the bus stop here. Once the horse feeder has some horse feed. Time for the bin trick. Hello, Kratos. Welcome. Looks a little bit shallow, I think. Probably a bit better. Transfer. Last bus stop. And then station. Maybe you can make that work. Let's see if that'll work. You're going to send workers to the construction of the fire station and the trains depot, the passenger platform. They're still assigned for construction work. They're a higher priority once they have been built up. Recovered a little bit of stamina, probably going to make it. The workers have been reset. This might be more reliable. They did not feed. Hopefully I'll do that on the last one then. I'm gonna have to go and set them everything to repair at 20%. Okay, this is really safe. Lots of time left. Really good. Also possible during winter, I'm pretty sure. At half speed. Why are you not going to this one? I guess the other one's on the way? Oh no, you're going here. You're just doing a loop around. I thought you would directly go through. Okay, no, that's fine. But yeah, you'll get also horse feed at the end station. But you do have to feed here, I guess. And I guess that horse route we could also use for bringing workers to the workplace of the rail construction office until we actually have the rail train line up. What is the other one? That is... okay. Sure. We need that steel mill. I think a first-person train right through this would look quite weird, but probably not too unnatural. I guess at some point we'll see it. I could follow a rail construction vehicle, I guess. But I think the camera might not look right. This one is a little bit... it still has an hour to 6 hours. Would probably make it in winter, if they are half speed. Maybe not. I think they're slower than 15. Let's take a look at our city again. Although... am I gonna... Let me build the university. It's such a weird thing to do. I think we can do the research of the distribution offices here with foreign workers. It's gonna cost us more money, of course. No, we should do that in the city, I think. With only our own workers. I think that makes more sense. I don't think we have any covered hull wagons in this anymore. So they're not bringing any mechanical or electronic components to construction sites in the city. Plus the construction offices themselves are pretty empty right now. So we could be setting up a couple more deliveries going to the city's construction office in preparation. Yep, this looks a lot cleaner. Now they're not stopping at the junction, they're just moving through here. Hello FF. Welcome. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, getting to the city center is a thing. No wonder I stopped earlier. Last time here. That's pretty much the route that buses can make. I know we're pushing further with worse vehicles. Makes sense. Not quite the range, huh? Incinerator's a bit slow, but I guess 50% hazardous waste incineration speed matches with the current productivity quite close, so I think everything is right. We're just very slow incinerating it. Okay. Those poor horses. But hey, at least the workers made it to the construction sites. All good. I mean, they have to drag 2.7 tons through a muddy road. This would make a lot more sense if we had like a village here and maybe one here and then another 4 villages all the way to MegaCity. But no. I mean, the train stop of the fire station are quasi-villages, but they're only run by phone workers. Till we have our own people to bring the villagers back to those settlements from on the other side. I think the setup currently is robust enough to work. The problem with the mixed waste from the fire station is still there, of course. And I guess now we have a repair station here and a repair station on that side. Maybe I need a waste storage locally to just ensure that it's working for all of them. I guess that works. Apparently smaller hitbox than the other ones. Interesting. Oh, that's why. Okay. The front doesn't count for collision, I guess. mean, am I too upset with that? Not really. But a small waste storage is enough too. Yeah, I think if we weren't doing rail construction and other construction tasks, we would probably be fine. We're also imported a huge amount of other vehicles, which I don't think I'm regretting, but it did put us a little bit more into deficit, I guess. So we should keep everything well maintained. But yeah, if we drop over under 100,000, we have to like be very careful about it. We don't want to run out of money before we actually get to MegaCity 19. That would be a bit unfortunate. Should not happen in general, I don't think. But I gotta keep an eye on it. The outpost itself should be positive, like money positive, the way it's running right now. And I think it has everything it needs to continue running. The horse setup itself with the horse veterinary and carpenter, plus the horse construction offices, in 30 years will be gone. Replaced by some smaller construction offices next to the existing repair station. Same for the fire station and the technical service, I guess. But that's quite far in the future. Over 6 hours this time. Could be too slow during winter. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow process towards the center. The logistics from the customs house to the center back and forth Could even run into the issue of no sufficient coaling at some point, and then everything could collapse. We'll definitely need a coaling station somewhere in MegaCity. We'll have our coaling station at the border, and then in the trip in between, hopefully it'll always be able to find one of them to go to and not get blocked. The first train to run would be the resource train. And the passenger train, I guess. The passenger train would be the first one, actually. To send enough workers over to build things in the area. Well, the first one is passenger train to this area to run the rail construction office, I guess. Two hours until the 6-hour mark. No feeding. Good. That's how I would imagine this would happen. They go in, horse feed, and then come back out to the bus stop. And you're going to turn around? Yeah, okay. That's fine too. And then we can save up the workers here between the train stop and the bus stop. Let them slowly trickle into the construction site for the rail construction office until it's close to finishing. And then I don't think this route brings enough workers here. How many horses should I add? It's like... apparently the route is 5.8 kilometers long. I mean, back and forth, yeah? 2.9 kilometers, yeah? I guess that is it. 8 horses. Definitely not enough to run a fire station. So we're like a screen width about this way from the junction to behind the screen on that side. That is that way. So we're a third of the way there. The fastest third of the way. How many more horses should I add to this? Every horse I add increases the amount of workers getting through, but also... I think I should just use the carriages and put another stop in between. It's very weird that the carriages didn't even make it. That I found a bit weird. It was because it was going to the wrong refueling area, I think. Let's give it another try. Because we need to bring the volume of workers there, not just a couple workers to the construction sites. Let's try it again. Maybe we can write first person. That's a little bit too low to the ground, I guess. Made a racetrack. Did I? Oh, was the train line? A little bit, yeah. It's for coaling. This is the pit box. Let it go out. Turn around here and go back. Let's see if this carriages makes it this time with the horse feeders being in the right place. At least in better locations this time. Oh, it's using the right one. Excellent. Cool. Is it gonna get to the stop in time? Currently looks like yes, but it would not. I don't think it would be able to do that during winter. So I don't think I can keep this one running through winter and expect a success. Unless I like spread out the bus stops even more. Actually, no, wait, this one isn't being that slowed down that much for winter. It's already only going 14 kilometers an hour. It's probably gonna be fine. Now that I think about it. Four hours to go. Couple meters. Gotta get to the feeder, and then turn around, get to the bus stop. Should be doable. No problem. And yeah, for winter, I guess speed limit is 12. You still got 2 hours plus. I don't know, hard to say. Okay, we're getting mechanical components delivered, which is gonna be costly as well. I hope everything is set up correctly. This will have to be connected to the train track, of course. And looking at the line in the middle, making sure it's about parallel to the other train track. I think that looks probably the best. We'll have to think about a passing track, but only after the passenger line is running, once the resources need to get delivered. What is different to the other horses line? I guess it's a custom route, it just didn't get assigned to it. Should be identical otherwise. Let's assign the other horse carriages. 7,500 rubles worth of steel. No hazardous waste this month. Yeah, I'm not sure if this route will work during winter. But I'm also a little bit too lazy to stop it, I guess. 2 work days. So close. Could have started bringing the materials for the last construction phase, I guess. Lower priority on those. Got enough rail construction to do right now, but they can also deliver resources to those construction sites. If all of these have been filled, I guess. They're not really the priority, but I guess that's what we're focusing on right now. They take the most resources, and right now resources are still cheap. Maybe we'll build this out with brick bridges right away. If we have the construction materials on site, instead of having to redo them afterwards right away, at least we can put the bridges in the correct way right from the get-go. Oh, some workers actually made it. Very good. That means this one can receive more materials as well. Is it only one construction task afterwards or multiple? Only one. Good. Yeah, you still got 6 hours. Perfect. I guess you just got repairs. It could have been better. I could have allowed myself some villages, I guess, on the way, but alas, not an option. Yeah, I guess this is like early game Poland map. Just gotta wait to get into a situation of where we can do something. It's gonna be a chill stream until then. If we are going to stabilize in terms of money, that would be nice. I could throw down a lot of construction offices to try and like bring even more resources to the construction sites, but we're still limited by the train track construction. Everything is nice and slow during winter. I'm kind of happy that I didn't like put down a gravel road, because like I don't think I've ever done that, like make a massive long road and just use a dirt road. I mean, for trucks it's like really bad normally, but I guess horses are sort of fine with it. For horses it kind of works. Wouldn't want the inside of the city to be dirt roads though. Well, we'll probably have to start with it. And maybe we'll build like a small heating plant instead of the large one right away, because the smaller one is definitely... we can definitely set it up within a year. Small heating plant and settlement, I mean. Depends on how quickly we want the city to come online. Exactly 0 rubles this month, apparently. Yep, price impact is definitely noticeable. But the train has a little bit of time where it's not importing, so the price does recover for a brief moment. We get a good profit for like first couple tons, and then it drops again. But overall inflation will drive the price back down further, I guess. Waste storage is full. Still 27 tons of waste to unload. Without the horse carriage, that would run into a huge problem. It's also going to slow down now, because the storage is full. Now the train can't keep unloading, and we also can't keep loading the mixed waste. Oh, a fire. First fire I've seen. Well, construction office. guess we'll start sending materials to the rail construction office here too. But no workers yet. That one will receive workers after the rest is up. And we have a train line running. Once we can bring crops here, the refueling from this area should be pretty straightforward. We'll need a distribution office to do that. And then we can build everything else out. I guess we need more than one passenger train to actually bring enough workers here as well. The passing track... Is it going to be the train platforms then? Maybe I should have allowed myself an auxiliary settlement to get this whole process started. Our own workers would have definitely worked for longer on construction sites, for example, than foreign workers currently do. This is not good. I guess we'll be loading 10% less hazardous waste. I don't want to necessarily run more horse carriages. But yeah, 6 is too many. Only if the stars align is it enough. 5 would probably be safer. But if we import 10% less, we still have enough room for the mixed waste in all wagons with no capacity limit. Hopefully that's going to be alright. That's a route, sure. Give me a left-hand turn here instead of a right-hand turn out of the fuel station. I guess the turn was kind of sharp. Well, you'll probably have to run this like 5-6 more times. Let me put some other vehicles there to assist with that for the time being. At least for like one trip, I guess. Yeah, I think we should run this without horse carriages. Somehow. So everyone goes back to the depot except one wagon, which will have the depot removed. You're gonna be on the same route. Yes, you'll get here, no problem. Okay, sure. I guess that means we could bring the workers slowly all the way over to construction sector if we split up each section with another bus stop setup. Doesn't really speed up the rail construction too much. And it also wouldn't help us like keep this safe from a fire. Unless I had like a pretty big amount of horse carriages running this route continuously. Which would also increase our crop consumption. But it's good to know that it's possible, I guess. I didn't even unload everyone. Because we only have a single bus stop here. I guess it makes sense. We're like wasting a ton of workers. Just unload everyone. The other bus stop will send them back. And they'll just stay around here until they've all been used up. So we'll deactivate all of these, and then they can just stay in these two bus stops until we need them. So once the resources have been delivered, we have like a workforce ready to go to continue the construction. Yes, the bus stops do have a limit, but I believe we can get the resources there in time. Maybe we need to increase the priority of the rail construction office too. If we only have like 5 workers in a rail construction office, then even the horse carriages might be enough to like keep the rail construction office running at that point. It's definitely medium priority, not high priority. Although, no, it's also high priority. Get it set up. Bring the resources to it, I mean. We'll build it after the other 2 buildings, but the resources should be brought here first. Construction sector can wait a little bit. But it's definitely the overflow of like when you have nothing to do, bring something to the construction sector. Yeah, looks like we're loading the mixed waste faster than the incinerators operating right now. Which means that there is some mixed waste left when the train departs, which means that next time it arrives, there's some extra mixed waste already in the building, and it doesn't have enough room to unload everything. Okay, now it's catching up. But the horse carriage is almost full, and nope, still incinerating fast enough, okay. But yeah, with machine replacement, or even the building maintenance, 70% loss of efficiency, it could be a bit of a problem. Do we only have one concrete mixer left? I doubt it. I believe they're all busy. Are they not? Yeah. Construction sector, warehouse. Long trip. They haven't made it back home yet, so they couldn't have helped with the construction of the current building. I'm not teleporting them. At least not unless absolutely necessary. Because you could make them like drag all the way to the construction sector and then teleport them back home, saving them a huge amount of time. Same for the rail construction vehicles. That is up to you if you want to use that. Alright, good. Incinerator completely clean. And we lost a bit of money because the train wasn't running in a while. Hopefully we can catch back up to over 120k. All this while, we're also delivering construction materials to the construction sector, but that is a relatively slow process. It's not like we're getting like maybe a delivery a month in for how far this is. Regarding tomorrow, I think before my appointment, we're gonna do some cairn. I might redo the climbing game again, and then after my appointment, which is gonna be late afternoon, I don't know yet. Maybe Grimshire or something else. Late after, or like afternoon on Monday would be workers and resources again. Before the appointment on Monday, not sure. Too early to say. But those are all estimations. I feel like I should use the money right now to buy another train, because right now they're relatively cheap. And it would be a Prussian T118. It's before 1920. $70,000. We'll probably need more than one. And I'm thinking... This one is the earliest passenger cabin. Everything else is after 1920. I'm thinking one of this is enough. So now we're very low on money. Horse station's in the way. Oh well. Or we just bring the train track out here, I guess. Get the dedicated line going on that side. Definitely have to connect this differently because we need 2 train tracks and they shouldn't overlap with another train line. But this one is then the one available for the waste wagons, I guess. Now, the same problem here. Currently no way to refuel, so I guess we have to go end station. Customs house, and then the depot afterwards. Not really built that well, but we'll have our refueling station soon. Not a priority right now. Oh, you want to go to the same end station. That is true. Well, I guess you're gonna wait in the depot then. It looks like it has enough fuel. So I guess the way we have to do this then is go to a waypoint here. Go to a waypoint. Then the end station, and then the customs house, then back to the depot. Once this train is out of the way. We start a new play. Is this the earliest starting date? The earliest starting date is 1920. We reset the time back to 1880, and this is not the Poland map anymore. This is the MegaCity 19 map. We're playing on the Moscow map from the World Maps DLC, which we started today in a previous stream. Played the first 3-ish years, and now I'm adding like another year or 2. It's saying to start a city in the middle of the was a whole lot easier than actually doing it. Yeah, we can bring the workers here successfully. So once all the building materials are there, construction of the building should not really be a huge deal. And then I guess I can tell the horse carriages to do the same thing up to the next stop. So we set up that rail construction office too. 1884. Hello evening all. Hello and Oblong Life, welcome. Yeah, we started MegaCity 19 today. People voted for an 1880 start, so here we are. I didn't realize how difficult it's going to be to actually get to the middle of the city with horse carriages only, and not being allowed to build any other settlements. So yeah, it's an experience. Use a mod for the year change or edit save file. I use Time Master, which is a mod on the workshop. You can reset the year on the fly with these buttons. And after I've done that, I also went into the save file and removed the stats INI file to clear up the statistics. So the starting date would be the correct one, instead of always reading 1920. Do we need to add a vanilla way to set the starting date? Well, then people are going to complain that there's no vehicles for that starting date that you can set manually. I don't know. There's also like other things tied to it, like inflation, and I don't think they want to do that. Got rail up and running quick. Yes, but the construction of the train track, we got a ways to go. I'm tempted to switch to a faster track builder, I guess. Because otherwise we're going to be here until like the 90s. 1890s still, but you know. I did enable all vehicles and purchased the oldest trains and rail construction vehicles I could to make this work. And I still need 2 more, because I'm building 2 extra rail construction offices along the line to try and speed things up a bit more. But yeah, that's gonna have to wait a bit. I could use illegal means, and we could teleport the people to the rail construction offices. I wasn't thinking about that yet. I mean, I could teleport people all the way into MegaCity 1, I guess. I'm a little bit okay with like spending all the money, I guess, because its value would have dropped quite quickly at some point. But yeah, we needed some income, so we can't just say, okay, we're out of money, it's fine. I mean, I don't think the Republic's gonna die even if we run out of money completely. Power's gonna shut off, and imports would be slower, I guess. But hazardous waste imports would still give us money. Less orphanages this time. Good plan, I think. Actually, we might have to use more orphanages. because of the extra pollution that we're gonna have in MegaCity. So far, at least. Yeah, a couple. One less orphanage than normal, I guess. Can't have multiple trains running. It's not set up that way yet. Would need to hook up another customs house connection. I guess that's gonna be our passenger train. It cost us 90,000, I think. Still on zero loan? Still on zero loan. Do we? Oh, right, we don't have any more horse cranes in here either. In 84 indeed. Mixing passenger and cargo on the same train still not working that well in the game? I don't think it's possible. I'm not sure if it's possible or not. I thought the game said no. Cannot mix wagons for passengers with cargo wagons. So yeah, don't think we're gonna be able to do that. Only as transport. Oh yeah, you can just attach them to the rear, I think. So you can like mix them this way, I guess. But that's about it. Horse crane on the way. So I guess in the future we have like basically this setup with a ton of workers waiting here, taking a horse carriage route to the next stop, while also supplying workers to the rail construction office in the area. Still need to buy another LTC, I guess. But yeah, this is like not normal workers and resources gameplay anymore. I think this is like, I mean, the only way to push this further is to say you're starting in the west and your first goal is to build like a city somewhere in the east. I think this is like pretty far. Sure, the border could be further out. The terrain could be a lot more rough. But it's pretty bad. I don't know if I want another construction offices, but it could basically be an assignment group to send out vehicles. But it's supposed to only do the maintenance. Let's go through the resource prices real quick again. Wood is... oh, we could export wood, I guess. Wood is looking pretty good. I'm not trusting the game yet, though. It's still pretty close to the starting price again. It was a little bit higher. Still has gotten cheaper again. Oil is cheap. Iron is okay, it's cheaper. Have seen cheaper. Gravel is getting up there. Gravel is expensive as wood. Crops are looking okay, not too worried about that yet. We're not supplying any food. But yeah, for the city it's gonna be the important then. Probably running a food factory right in the middle of the city. And coal is cheapish. So I'd seen a spike, I guess. Hello, George Rockland. Welcome. You just open up like the construction site and more workers start walking here immediately. It's kind of fun. More workers, send them all here. Alright, that's enough. What is my money source at the moment? Hazardous waste incinerator at the border. We're importing hazardous waste and recycling it for our neighbor by burning it. Unfortunately, it has very little hazardous waste in it, only 15%, and a lot of metal waste, construction waste, and aluminum scrap. So the profit for the import is not that high. Maybe I should go and scour another customs house for that. But that would mean building a train track up here and importing it from this border. Or setting up a whole new incinerator. But I guess an incinerator with a fire station is not that expensive. The only problem arises once you want to also repair your vehicles locally and do the building maintenance locally. And then you need all of the other nonsense as well. But if you don't want the rail transportation, I guess you could run an incinerator pretty cheaply. And when it collapses, I guess you just get rid of the waste and rebuild it. Could also do that. Or just leave it there. But yeah, that's my money source. Hazardous waste handling for our neighbor. Fire station is up. I think it only needs a single fire engine. They're not really gonna get maintained much. That's the other issue, but we only need that for the rail construction. A single horse fire engine should be sufficient. At like 4 workers. Definitely have to turn down the amount of workers inside the fire station when the fire engine arrives. Otherwise they're going to eat up all the workers fairly quickly. But the platforms are also filling up, so not too big of a deal, I guess. Yep, they're not able to unload here anymore. I would have to add another platform, I guess. Or just start using them up. Of a fire engine will be fine. Very small wheels, looks like. The other thing we could build or research towards is a rail distribution office to bring the resources needed in the city by distribution office without a direct route. But I think a direct route is going to be better for us because we can make a really long train for it. We will need a 450-meter long train with any sorts of resources going to the city, because that's the most efficient way to transport them in our case. We'll need a coaling station at that point in the city that it has to go through every time. Hopefully using the coaling station. Can't really force that. And then as an emergency, I guess there's a coaling station here that it can use. But if it does use it, then it can't. If it then goes to the customs house, it would get like blocked in basically. So this whole route is kind of shot. Would have to go back to the city, I guess. So what it could do is like go in here and then go back to the city, or go to the customs house first. But then it also can't go this way. There's not enough room to turn around. The junction would have to be somewhere after this area. Down this way. And then I guess we would have enough room for 450-meter long train going into the customs house. Four workers in the fire station only. Not that it is needed yet. But I guess we might as well still enable it, I guess, so we don't forget. And then at some point we'll have to assign the material deliveries for the rail construction office. Water truck, coal, gravel, boards and steel. All by horse carriage, all by distribution office. The ones that are already supplying the local rail construction office. We'll then have to pick up the pace and supply another one, which puts us on our last distribution office. And yeah, maybe I need to actually start researching. If we were to build a small party HQ, we could research in the area with foreign workers. And use our free research point to get distribution offices researched to then put that in place already. Yeah, I think this train track is probably going to curve into the main track. .450 meters length. Merging back together. So I guess it is the end of this junction that is our length of the track. So we could do something like this, which is probably better. Trains from the depot can still go in here, just a little bit longer, have to go onto the main track. And we're also planning for the future of long trains. which is what our city needs. So this is the coaling area. Two train lines, long trains. This junction is gonna be obsolete at some point because the other train in the area will use the other route into the customs office, and it doesn't have to go onto the main track. The rail construction office will then have to pick a different route, I guess. Oh, that managed to crash the game immediately. Huh. I never tried that yet. That was a... I wonder if that's a reliable way to crash the game, and maybe maybe something we can report and get fixed. It was 6 minutes ago. That's unfortunate. Do you need a passing point? You're gonna do double garbage train? No, we only have a single garbage train. I don't run double garbage trains. No double garbage trains planned. Because I can't have that. They just get clogged up in the end station if I do that, I think. I have to try this with the waypoint off stream. If that crashes the game reliably, could be interesting. Oh, that's pretty much right on point, I guess. But yeah, garbage train on this side. No other connection for this track. We would then demolish this piece here. And the way for the rail construction vehicle to still get out would be to get out onto this track, I guess. Need access point to the depot? Well, the access point... Oh, right, yeah, the access point to the depot looping around here. Which would be the same line, I guess. It has to, like, turn around here. Depot goes onto this track, turning this way or this way, so the depot should also be able to refuel. Something like that. A train from the customs house doesn't never have to go onto this track here. It either goes to the depot or it spawns on a different route and goes along the main line, I guess, but it doesn't have to go this and then onto this line. This prevents also trains from this side making their way onto this line at some point. Of course, this means we have to build this all. But yeah, that would be the future with regards to like long trains. Once we have reached the other rail construction office, then the train in here can start building this whole setup. And tearing down the other junction afterwards. Only 5 workers in the fire station, please. Thank you. Used up all the foreign workers in that area. That leads this to only be a single train track. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is fine. It has to go past the end station here for sure. Could give it a wider corner, but this crossing is already pretty wide. I mean, this road is gonna be removed at some point. The road is supposed to come down from this side, like I said. Originally it was planned to be past the train depot, but now that we have the refueling here, and it's probably gonna stay in this area, the road would come across the train track on this end and connect over here, giving us a little bit of a gap through this place. No workers waiting on a bus stop right now. Everyone's busy. I would like the corner to be a little bit wider, I guess. If we can make it work with the... yeah, that way. Ideally here, but then the road doesn't like it. So I guess we'll do that. It's very curvy. Okay, with all the settings, not enough workers to actually run the fire station. Which is unsurprising. But the construction of the train platform is almost up, requiring 5 fewer workers at that point. And it's also another waiting platform. Can you fit more wagons on the garbage train? Yes, but then the incinerator is getting overloaded with too much hazardous waste. The train being unable to unload everything, and it basically like locking up because I didn't put any buffer storages in between. I set this up with a direct connection, so I need to be able to unload the whole train into the incinerator to then be able to load the mixed waste. So this is like, it's also 6 wagons is like the ideal length for what the station can load and unload at the same time. All wagons are currently being handled. I had 8 wagons earlier, and it didn't quite work as well. The last 2 wagons did not get loaded and unloaded at the same time. And it was behaving weird in the customs house when I set it to specific waste types, unfortunately. Let me check something. I just realized I haven't looked at like what the status of Shadow Empire is. Because I'm still excited for the DLC there, but I guess it's quiet. The first Steam forum page on that game is like all pinned threads, and then there's like 3 non-pinned threads. It's like so hard to look into. No news. Not really. Just still ongoing test phase, I guess. Oh well. Hexgrid Wargames scare me? Oh yeah, that game is definitely like on the scary end, even if you know it. Because I still don't think I fully understand everything in it. And that one is trying to be as detailed as possible. But some of the systems I'm like, this isn't that detailed. It feels like just like a balance the resources kind of game. But then I'm probably still missing something. A lot of the systems I thought were fairly simple. I'm still complaining about the technology feeling like a linear upgrade, but that's probably just not being good enough at it. Yeah, this whole road here, this will probably end in a dead end at some point when we get rid of the whole setup on that side. Looks like the repair station is finally caught up. Let me set the vehicle repairs to even less than 20. Like I said, they should only go and repair if the vehicle actually needs some resources. Like this one. It's not repairing right now. Wear and tear is 20. I'm going to set everything to 10%. It's still not going to repair. Only if this button actually requires some form of resources will it actually enter repairs. The lower fatality, the more complex it typically goes. Yeah. I guess so, yeah. But the interesting thing about Shadow Empire is that, like, it's a really good game for someone who likes learning a game with a manual, which is like a thing that doesn't really happen much anymore. And I had that game open, I had the 400+ page manual open, and I had a good time. I like watching Let's Plays of Aurora 4X, most exciting spreadsheet game. Yep, that's in the same realm. Okay, got the train platform, got the fire station, I guess. Still need more building materials for this thing. I guess we'll limit this to 1 worker for now. Until the last 2 concrete deliveries have made their way here. I'm probably bit off more than I can chew with this whole setup. I really thought we would be like breezing through this, just easily getting like some workers here, building up like a small settlement, and then no, definitely not. Oh well. Hello Archer, welcome. I also have to get into Aurora 4X at some point, not sure if I'll ever do. I mean, I have played it before, but it wasn't as well documented, I guess, so I found it hard to get into. And I didn't, so it didn't quite work for me. I'm not sure if the rail construction office works without power, I realize, but thankfully drawing a power line from the border to this point is gonna be the least of our worries. I think it can, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. I'll have to build a high voltage power line anyway. Don't want to set up high voltage switches for these settlements. The high voltage line should go all the way to, I guess, the outskirts of the MegaCity center. It's only supposed to run until we have our own power production from imported coal to make ourselves more robust in case of like running out of money, so the whole city doesn't die when I don't pay attention to it when I'm planning something. Where's the rail construction train? You're blocked too. What's going on? Oh, all the other train tracks I placed got everything confused now. Right. So you're parked here, which is basically blocking yourself through this track. Sure. That makes sense. Making a lot of money with importing resources. And we're paying all that money to foreign workers, basically. The price for the foreign workers didn't go up too much yet. How am I gonna, like, populate the city if I don't have money? Let me turn off the fire. Nah, let's keep the fire station on. Last bit of concrete. Now you can accept more workers, I guess. So the groundworks are done and you need the bricks, boards and steel to finish the building. And once the building's done, we can bring an LTC to you. Or we wait until the train tracks are done up to that point, have the building filled, and we just switch over to the next rail construction. But I don't think we're going to do that. Like I said, we still have rail construction to do here too. Gotta have both running, I guess. The poor distribution offices are gonna be quite overworked with that. I guess I could try and see if the... no. I can't see if the rail construction office would work without power, because the power is only used to coal the train, I think. The operation of the rail construction office doesn't depend on power otherwise. I believe we need a substation, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, maybe it works really slowly. We'll find out, I guess. I don't want to give this area any power if it doesn't need any. Power line would be somewhat expensive. But yeah, focus on the other buildings now. So all groundworks are done. I guess these ones are now high priority. This one, I guess you can also deliver to. There will be no workers here yet, but the setup will be similar once we get to it. Double bus stop, with people just waiting until it's their time to do some work. Yeah, 8,500 rubles profit should not be eaten up by 6,000 rubles worth of manpower cost this month. Resource imports might change that, but resource imports are based on construction projects. If we were running like a university right now, we would be using so much more money for foreign workers. But then again, we're also importing almost, like, not importing, but like hiring almost everyone from the border. How many horse carriages we're running. The double road is absolute overkill. And I'm glad I never considered upgrading it. Let me know when, I guess, this building is done. Because it's already assigned to construction offices. Once the groundwork has had enough workers, it'll switch over to resource deliveries. And road cranes, I guess. No one walked into the construction site. Oh, they do. Epidemics don't matter for us, we don't have our own workers right now. Unless it restricts the amount of foreign workers we get, but I don't think it does. What we could be doing, I guess on the first settlement, is running a logging camp and having a really long train exporting wood. Which will probably crash the wood price, and then we're gonna cry about it later. But right now the wood price looks pretty good. And a bit more money wouldn't hurt. Could also run a logging camp right next to the border and exporting it by horse carriage, I guess, but that would be not as fun. I think those extra 3 hours is probably gonna be all I have right now. So I'm gonna put a cut in here again. That was like almost 10 hours today. 9+ hours. Like I said, tomorrow probably no workers and resources. Can't guarantee that it won't happen, but It's fairly likely. And we'll do some climbing. Short and sweet, yeah, just a short 3-hour stream, yes. We're still making progress. It's a slow one. I think maybe after some time, if it takes really too long, if we like build up the rail construction office in Switch and it still takes way too long, I'm gonna ask Chat if we get a better rail construction vehicle at that point. Since the construction towards the center wasn't really the main goal, but it's something we have to do. Anyway, until then, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this shorter stream. I wish you all a good rest to your Saturday afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care, everyone. Before I finish that sentence, we are going to raid, I think. Rubber Duck is now in Hell Let Loose. No more Workers and Resources. Anyone else playing Workers and Resources in English? Maybe that one? Let me check.
Because this is not the same.
Is it English? I think it is. Stream is marked as English, Scotland. It's... I don't know. I mean... I think it's Czech. I think the UK is the map. But I'm not 100% sure. We'll try. I'll write over to Jimmy Botch. I think that's the name. If not, then I'm sorry about that. Or Jimmy Bo Czech, maybe? Oh, invalid username. Oh, right. An I instead of a Y. We'll see how it goes. Until then, like I said, have a good rest to your Saturday afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care, everyone. All the best. And maybe also next time.